You're about to discover something the mainstream media desperately doesn't want you to know. While they're painting pretty pictures of royal reconciliation, there's a calculated manipulation campaign happening right under our noses. And by the end of this, you'll see exactly how deep this rabbit hole goes. Picture this: a prince who spent years systematically dismantling his own family's reputation now wants something in return. Not forgiveness, not understanding, an apology. Harry isn't quietly hoping for reconciliation anymore. He's demanding that his father and brother apologize to him and his wife for what he claims was racist treatment. Think about that for a moment. This is the same man who sat across from Oprah and lobbed grenades at the monarchy. The same person who wrote an entire book detailing private family conversations. The same individual who turned his family's pain into Netflix content. And now he wants them to say sorry to him. But here's where it gets really interesting. Despite all of this documented history, there's been a fascinating shift in how certain media outlets are covering this story. Suddenly, Harry's being portrayed as the mature one, the changed man who just wants to come home. Meanwhile, William is being quietly positioned as the stubborn brother who won't let bygones be bygones. Does this smell like a coordinated effort to you? Because it should. Let's talk about Prince William for a second. Here's a man who's watched his brother turn their private family moments into public entertainment. Every conversation William has with Harry seems to end up in some interview or book chapter. Would you trust someone like that? Would you be eager to welcome them back into your inner circle? William has made his position crystal clear through his actions, not his words. He's not interested in pretending everything's fine. He's not rolling out any red carpets. And honestly, can you blame him? Trust, once broken this completely, doesn't just magically repair itself because someone decides they want back in. Yet the press keeps pushing this bizarre fantasy. Take Charlotte Griffiths, for example. She's been making the rounds on every major UK outlet lately, spinning the same story. Her angle: Meghan can't return to Britain because she's afraid of being booed by the public. Not because she's unwelcome. Not because she burned every bridge she touched. No, it's the potential for public disapproval that keeps her away. This narrative is insulting to everyone's intelligence, but it serves a purpose. It shifts the blame away from their choices and onto the British public instead. And speaking of timing, have you noticed how convenient all of this reconciliation talk is? Meghan just launched a new wine brand. Their Netflix content has dried up. Book sales are yesterday's news. They need relevance again. And what better way to grab headlines than by teasing a potential royal return? Those headlines reading Harry and Meghan have no plans to move back to Britain are written precisely to spark the opposite reaction. It's media psychology 101. Say something just vague enough that people read into it what they want to see. But here's what's really fascinating. The Daily Mail, the very publication Harry is actively suing, has suddenly started painting him in a more positive light. When your legal opponent begins writing favorable coverage about you, that should raise some serious questions about who's orchestrating this shift. This isn't accidental. This is professional damage control, and it reeks of desperation. The British public isn't buying it, though. They remember the interviews. They remember the accusations. They remember the arrogance. The idea that William should be criticized for protecting his family and the monarchy from two people who haven't earned back a single ounce of trust is genuinely laughable. Most people in William's position would do exactly what he's doing. They protect their family from individuals who've proven they can't be trusted with private information or personal relationships. But the manipulation campaign continues because there's too much at stake to give up now. Charlotte Griffiths wasn't working alone in this redemption narrative. She was joined by a whole network of royal sources, PR strategists, and conveniently timed leaks, all pointing in the same direction. This isn't just spin control anymore. This is a full-scale attempt to rewrite recent history, and the timing reveals just how calculated every move has been. Consider this: Meghan launched her wine brand on Queen Camilla's birthday. Coincidence? Hardly. Every decision seems designed to generate maximum attention while maintaining just enough distance to avoid looking completely desperate. It's celebrity PR 101. but executed so obviously that the public can see right through it. The mainstream media's involvement goes much deeper than simple narrative spinning, though. Journalists who used to maintain neutral positions have suddenly shifted their coverage. Victoria Ward from The Telegraph wrote pieces filled with careful speculation about Harry potentially changing course and seeking reconciliation. This is the same person who months earlier was suggesting his family was complicit in plots against him. Now we're supposed to believe he's genuinely trying to mend fences? The inconsistency is staggering. Then there's the mysterious peace summit that made headlines. A private meeting between Harry's team and King Charles's communications staff that somehow ended up splashed across every major outlet within days. Nobody involved took legal action over the leaked information. Nobody even publicly condemned the privacy breach. Why? Because it wasn't actually a breach. It was orchestrated. PR experts who understand how these campaigns work saw right through it immediately. The language in the articles, the framing of the photos, the tone of the coverage, it was all textbook choreographed storytelling. This leak came from within the system, and it's part of a much broader strategy to manipulate public perception of Harry and Meghan. The royal spin masters aren't just trying to change public opinion, they're also targeting the royal family itself. King Charles and Queen Camilla are being slowly fed this new narrative about public desire for reconciliation, Harry's supposed maturation, and Meghan's business focus. It's all designed to gradually wear down resistance within the palace walls. But it's not working on William. He understands the game because he's lived through it. He remembers the betrayal, the books, the interviews, the documentaries. He's not falling for this PR pivot for even a second. William has made his position unmistakably clear. Harry and Meghan are not coming back. Not as working royals. Not as part-time royal influencers. Not as anything. They had their opportunity. They used it to attack the institution they were part of. And now they want back in. That door isn't just closed. It's locked. Still, the media keeps testing everyone's patience with fantasies about future balcony appearances and reconciliation fairy tales. But underneath all of this speculation, there's one truth they won't acknowledge out loud. This isn't about peace. It's about profit. William has been keeping his distance for excellent reasons. While Harry's been bouncing between podcast interviews and royal exposés, William's been quietly doing what the future king is expected to do. Show up, stay composed, and avoid turning his family into clickbait material. That's the exact contrast the media is now trying to blur as they shift blame for the broken relationship directly onto William. And this narrative is working its way into even the most respected publications. Take Valentine Lowe, a royal correspondent who once revealed Meghan's alleged bullying of palace staff. Now he's writing speculative pieces about Harry and Meghan returning to royal balconies, complete with vivid descriptions of Meghan smiling while Harry broods beside her. This wasn't just hypothetical reporting. It was pure fantasy designed to normalize the idea of their return by making it feel inevitable. It's PR theater at its most obvious. The manipulation runs even deeper when writers like Tessa Dunlop drag Princess Diana into the argument, suggesting that William's refusal to reconcile would disappoint his mother. It's emotional blackmail of the highest order. Diana may have been progressive and empathetic, but assuming she'd endorse the way Harry and Meghan have handled their family drama by turning it into profitable entertainment is quite a stretch. Diana fought for her sons, not for tabloid exploitation disguised as therapy sessions. This growing media pressure isn't just annoying, it's genuinely dangerous. Because William, by the very nature of his position, cannot respond publicly. He can't give counter-interviews or write tell-all books. His silence is his duty, his burden, and his strength. But that silence is now being weaponized against him. It's being spun as stubbornness while the actual instigators are framed as victims seeking closure. The public is being nudged, bit by bit, to forget what actually happened. To forget the Oprah interview. To forget the Netflix documentary. To forget the book. To forget the lawsuits. Meanwhile, back in California, Harry and Meghan are living in a $16 million mansion while claiming financial struggles. They're hiring and firing communications teams at a dizzying pace, shopping around new business ventures, and clearly trying to extract whatever value they can from their remaining royal connections. Meghan's wine brand launch wasn't just a business decision. It was a signal. She's still playing the fame game, using royal proximity whenever it benefits her bottom line. And let's be honest about something else. America is growing tired of them too. Once loyal supporters have started turning away. Shows like South Park, Saturday Night Live, and Family Guy, all known for their liberal perspectives, have absolutely roasted Harry and Meghan. When your strongest allies start mocking you publicly, that's a clear sign the tide has shifted. Public sympathy is evaporating, and even in Hollywood, where they thought they'd thrive, their act is wearing increasingly thin. That's exactly what makes this media narrative push so frantic and desperate. The PR teams know the clock is ticking. Relevance is fading fast. Meghan's Netflix deal flopped spectacularly. The Spotify contract got cancelled. The book can only sell so many copies before people move on. They need to completely reset their public image to stay in the game. And that's why this peace summit narrative, this sudden rehabilitation of Harry's public image, and these carefully orchestrated leaks are all happening right now. It's a final, desperate play to re-enter a space they voluntarily walked away from after dragging the royal family through the mud in the process. But if they think William will cave under this pressure, they're setting themselves up for a rude awakening. The monarchy moves slowly and deliberately, but it has a long memory. And when the cameras eventually stop rolling and the headlines fade into history, it will be the quiet dignity of those who stayed and served, not the drama of those who left for profit, that truly endures and defines the institution. The manipulation is obvious once you see it. The question is, will enough people recognize it before it's too late?